when Fox's own Chris Wallace pressed Hillary Clinton on the Clinton Foundation and allegations of pay to play. She said this.
Everything I did as Secretary of State was in furtherance of our country's interests and our values. The Clinton Foundation made it possible for 11 million people around the world with HIV/AIDS to afford treatment. We have environments environments in schools healthier for kids,
Secretary
including
Clinton,
healthier lunches.
respectfully, this is an open discussion.
Well, it is an open discussion.
I understand, and the specific question went to pay for play.
Well, as you can see, she dodged the question, but our next guest literally wrote the book on Clinton corruption. He's the author of Clinton Cash. Peter Schweizer joins us now. Peter, thanks for joining us this morning. What do you make of her answer on that? Sure sounds like the Clinton Foundation was on the up and up.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you don't have a good answer to a legitimate question like Chris Wallace asked, you try to change the subject, which is what she did. The problem is with the WikiLeaks, it's really coming out confirming what we were talking about before, which is that pay-to-play was taking place. There was an internal review done in 2010, late 2010, during Hillary Clinton's tenure as Secretary of State of the Clinton Foundation at their request. And what they found was that donors were expecting quid pro quos in exchange for gifts. It doesn't become more black and white than that.
Yeah, there's a black and white just today. A new revelation out from WikiLeaks about the King of Morocco. He gave $12 million to the Clinton Foundation and in return expected a visit from the former Secretary of State. Should that surprise anybody that the quid pro quo was right there in black ink?
Well, I think it surprises some people like me a little bit in that they were so explicit in writing. Look, the Clintons and their team are very smart. A lot of them are very smart lawyers, and so they know you don't put things in writing. But it's clear from that email and from other emails that foreign governments were getting access and getting favors explicitly by giving money. The other point that needs to be made, by the way, is, you know, Hillary talked about how great the Clinton Foundation is. In that same internal review, they asked Clinton Foundation employees to evaluate the effectiveness of the Clinton Foundation. The highest that they got was 4 out of 10. Some Clinton Foundation employees gave it a 1 out of 10. So even the people that work there would have disagreed with her assessment of how effective this organization is.
And anyone out there who's ever run an organization, you know, if you want to get a sense of how effective that organization is, you don't ask the CEO, you ask the ones working inside the organization and how connected they are to that mission. That's a great point. You also mentioned hidden money. There's probably more money out there. Where would that be and what is it?
Well, so some of the documents that have come out in the John Podesta emails are giving lists of who made contributions and paid at the Clinton Global Initiative in 2011. The problem is when you look and it says this person gave $1 million, you look at the Clinton Foundation disclosures, that person doesn't show up in the disclosures. So you have now more hidden donations. This was a key promise, Pete, that was made when Hillary was before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee to take the State Department job, and in a written agreement with Barack Obama, they would have complete transparency, more evidence that that's not the case. They were hidden or they were hiding foreign donations. Interesting.
Well, Donald Trump in the debate called it a criminal enterprise, said, hey, they took money from places like Saudi Arabia and Qatar, which are very contrary to our values. Peter Schweizer, you've done a great job exposing this through Clinton Cash. Thank you for joining us this morning.